Welcome back to the program, everybody. Good morning to all of my viewers, listeners, and Soul Tribe family. Today is Tuesday, March 7th, 2023. If you happen to have a birthday today, happy birthday, and may all your wishes come true. The time I began recording this morning was roughly about 8:15 a.m. The name of this program is called It's a Conspiracy, But It Ain't No Theory, and this is episode number 16. And on today's episode, I'm going to be discussing gang stalking, desensitization methods, and surviving the New World disorder. My name is Adrienne Alese. I am a singer-songwriter, author, model, musician. I'm the author of a book trilogy called Lucy's Lair, Part 1, 2, and now 3. Lucy's Lair is a book trilogy reflecting my life as a survivor of rape culture, child sex trafficking, and psychological gas chambers. On this program, I advocate for women's rights, basic human rights, and the rights of those disabled, focusing today primarily on gang stalking, desensitization methods, and surviving the New World disorder. I myself am a fully recovered diagnosed epileptic. Praise the Lord. I have been diagnosed with epilepsy, grand mal seizures, for approximately 20 years, 18 of which fully recovered and seizure-free. I also advocate on behalf of the foster children in the CPS system, orphans, single mothers, foster mothers, and those less fortunate. This program is a dedication to the targeted individual community. And before I go any further, I'd just like to take a moment of silence for those no longer with us. Rest in peace. Thank you all so much for joining me for today's program and for your time. If you wouldn't mind, please like, share, comment, subscribe. And if you enjoyed today's program, maybe also consider donating. All support goes to helping families regain independence after ritual abuse. The weather forecast for today here in Seattle, it looks like it's going to be about 50 degrees, about 49 to 50. It's going to be mostly cloudy, but I actually do see the sun already peeking through, so we'll see if that's going to last or not. And also, here in Seattle, there's always a slight chance of rain. Alright, so trigger warning. Vicarious trauma and secondary traumatic stress are frequently used interchangeably to refer to the indirect trauma that can occur when we are exposed to difficult or disturbing images and stories secondhand. This can occur by viewing graphic news reports, gruesome or frightening television shows, and various other media, hearing a detailed traumatic story from another person, viewing crime scene evidence, working in a courtroom, attending a debriefing or a conference where disturbing images are described or shown, and many other ways in which we can be indirectly affected by the content or visuals of some other living creature's suffering. Content may not be suitable for all. Viewer discretion is advised. All right. So on this program, I will be discussing today and reviewing my experience with the Organized Community Harassment Campaign, otherwise known as malicious harassment, gang stalking, group stalking, cause stalking, proxy stalking, terror stalking, remote or electronic stalking and harassment, cyber warfare, electronic torture, cyber terrorists, no-touch torture, touch-less sexual assault, slow kill program, narcissistic abuse, gas lighting, psychological gas chambers, directed energy weapons abuse, verbal, emotional, and psychological abuse. Another hot topic I often discuss on my program I want to go over again today is the spiritual warfare component to the satanic occult ritualistic practice of gang stalking, otherwise known as scapegoating, the black magic, blood magic, the satanic sacrifices made to bind someone to a blood contract meant to curse, omens, spiritual symbolism, the hypnosis, energy spells, magic curses, etheric implants, cult mind control, and how it all pertains to the safety and well-being of the intuitive empath, also known as a targeted individual. It is interesting that the intuitive empath in this case is gaslit and called a terrorist so much on a daily basis in the mainstream media and just in the simulated environment. It is my opinion that my oppressors are struggling with denial and cognitive distortion, such as cognitive dissonance. The role of psychology in advertising is to create cognitive dissonance, or the conflict between what you have and what you want, and to fill that void by adapting your behavior accordingly in order to achieve your reward. It is targeting me, the government, and gang stalkers, using desensitization methods to fill a void or achieve the goal of torturing by exploiting me for profit. I'm still being exploited for profit daily, which is what gang stalking is. This is what my experience with this scapegoating ritual has been so far. I don't even need to say who I am in my core. You can see that I advocate for peace. The overall purpose of this satanic, occult, slow kill program is to make anyone trying to expose operations pertaining to mind control or cult mind control in the US look and seem ridiculous, crazy, schizophrenic, or even suicidal. This psychological operation is done covertly by the military counterintelligence program, COINTELPRO, known to many as the Suicide Squad, using trauma-based mind control to insert etheric implants, binding targets to a cycle of traumatic karmic energy that recycles and regenerates, creating an etheric implant, also known as a demonic possession. Fear is being used to keep myself isolated, specifically fear of death by collision. I try to make it a point to break this curse by traveling or just going somewhere every day. By doing this, I take my power back and also break the control fear illusion. This fear and isolation create an etheric implant or demonic possession, and so I'm going to do a little light magic ritual. I try to do this in every show, almost every day. Etheric implant removal, Reiki healing, light magic. Healing grief and trauma, both stuck on a molecular level. Healing trauma stuck on a cellular, molecular, and energetic level. When stagnant emotions are not released, they create dense energy in the human energetic system that can cause blocks to the energetic field in 3 dimensions, 1st, 3rd, and 5th. Etheric parasites and demonic entities love to feed off the dark, dense energy, also called loosh, that's created as a result of these blocks. They use it as demon food, otherwise known as narcissistic supply. Over time, they've learned that if they attach energetic implants to the denser portion of our fields, which create more pain and physical, emotional, and psychological trauma, we put off more narcissistic supply for them to harvest, known as energy harvesting, fear farming, false hope, or hopium. These etheric implants create a loop cycle over existing trauma by manipulating energy, alchemizing positive energy into negative energy, and because etheric implants, demonic possessions, and nightmares are designed to lower energetic vibration, poison the mind, corrupting the soul, disconnecting us from source, and limit our natural abilities, it becomes extremely difficult to finally fully heal, no matter how much work we've done. Multidimensional energy healing, quantum healing, regression therapy, etheric clearing, and attachment release are all forms of etheric implant removal. Gang stalkers or community terrorist sleeper cell groups create a 5-point star formation used for ritual abuse, also known as scapegoating. Hot topics often discussed on my program include my hustle, my modeling, my singing, my songwriting, me as a musician, and just me as an artist, social engineering, zombie apocalypse, energy harvesting, remote gang stalking, cancel culture, aliens, UFOs, AI, RoboCop, thought police, thought crimes, policing the web, censorship, policing the comment section, Terminator teams, obsessed, OCD, mental health, illnesses, crisis, magic mirror, hacking, cyber terrorists, blackmail, sextortionists, public shaming, occult scapegoating, disinformation agents, technocrats, survival tips, earth, divine feminism, soulscaping, hacking, phishing, spearfishing, break-ins, vandalism, spying, tracking, smear campaigns, slandering, defamation, character assassination, terrorism, domestic violence, destruction of property, organized crime, 24/7 satellite surveillance, human sex trafficking, geo-tracking, data harvesting, social engineering attacks, electronic harassment, torture for hire, murder for hire, revenge for hire, organized group stalking, gang stalking, otherwise known as human trafficking, conspiracy culture, exploitation, sexpionage, sexploitation, dissemination of revenge porn, public shaming methods, leveraging the science of hypnosis, using data as blackmail, racketeering, extortion, many forms, gaslighting, murder, threats, blacklisting, kidnappings, blackmail and bribery, human cloning, mass hysteria, mass crime, MyLabs, hybridization, phobia indoctrination, energy weapons, psychic abuse, dream altering, reading one's future without one's consent, altering one's future without one's consent, telepathic spies, psychic spies, subliminal programming, ET, alien, demonic etheric implants causing highly charged traumatic imprints, creating trauma bonds, love bombing, karmic cycle, ritualistic abuse, cybercrime, data slaves, debt slave, karmic wheel, karmic slave, demon food, energy, entertainment, and source, adrenochrome, high adrenaline levels after social engineering, aka terrorist attack, fear farming, harvesting fear, anxiety, depression, PTSD, high stress levels, shock, and alien love bite interference, honey trapping, rape culture, conspiracy, death cult society, ghost producing, encrypted inversions, entrapment operations, toxic masculinity, race wars, occult aggression, simulation theory, hyper simulation theory, frazzle drip, Pizzagate, Watergate, snuff porn, schism, CPS, and child trafficking. Cancel culture. Targets are being repressed and censored through this and other technological and communicational means. Their deaths or incarceration in psychiatric institutions hastened through record falsifications, character assassinations, psychological stressors, in addition to the extreme damages caused by continuous low-level non-ionizing radiation applied to the various organs in their bodies and, most importantly, minds. Regarding COINTELPRO, counterintelligence program conducted by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, unsavory, harmful, and vicious tactics have been employed, including anonymous attempts to break up marriages, my relationship, attempts disrupt my meetings, my appointments, ostracize myself from professional settings, canceling and provoking targeted groups, and 2 rivalries that might result in deaths. And so I just wanted to go over the latest trauma, or the latest artificially simulated trauma that was just recently induced via gang stalking, desensitization methods, and the stalking and harassment campaign, the street theater. So that was just recently induced as a way to desensitize me and derail my show by trying to engage me in their illegal criminality so that they can attempt to set up basically another setup by gaslighting when they go to complain to management, which, by the way, the management here knows what's going on. And they also know you're full of shit. And just to mention, my show isn't canceled because I'm not canceled, okay? Because I'm not a terrorist. If I was, I'd be in prison or dead. I've already mentioned how the desensitization methods are being used. As an emotional leverage to manipulate me into not speaking out about human sex trafficking. But I'm going to have to go over it again briefly to give more real-life examples of how this affects the trafficked target. 75% of targeted individuals are women, not men, not children. This makes gang stalking a hate crime towards women in this case being a politically victimized individual. Data proves that 75% of targeted individuals are Caucasian women. Systemic desensitization and specific phobias. Specific phobias are one class of mental disorder often created via systemic desensitization. When persons experience such phobias, for example, fear of heights, dogs, snakes, closed spaces, etc., they tend to avoid the feared stimuli. This avoidance in turn can temporarily reduce anxiety, but is not necessarily an adaptive way of coping with it. In this regard, patients' avoidance behaviors can become reinforced, a concept defined by the tenets of operant conditioning. Data shows that systemic desensitization was successful 90% of the time when treating or indoctrinating phobias. So how does systemic desensitization therapy work? Step 1, psychoeducation and relaxation. Step 2, establishing the fear hierarchy. Step 3, start with level 1, exposure, then work your way up. What is systemic desensitization? Systemic desensitization is a version of exposure therapy used to help people address various mental health concerns, often related to anxiety. In this treatment, a person works with a therapist to learn relaxation techniques and plan a methodical series of exposures to anxiety-provoking stimuli. When people face their fears, stress increases in the short term, but systemic desensitization is based on the idea that uncomfortable reactions will dissipate with long-term exposure. All right, so basically, using desensitization methods, gang stalkers are doing this as a form of punishment and also as a form of recruitment. I recently caught them setting up their stage outside using very young children again this past week to stalk and harass us. So that way they can try to say, oh, look, this person is smoking in front of my kid, or just start complaining and gaslighting to the management, which, by the way, like I already said, I have protest signs outside my front door. Not only that, but I've already emailed the owners and all of the main management that works here, so they know that I'm being harassed. They know that I'm being maliciously harassed, and that there's a hate group that's harassing me. They also know that more than likely, because of what I've sent them in the email, that this is an organized hate crime group. And they also know that these gang stalkers are full of shit, completely full of shit. So it is interesting to see how nothing happens now when the gang stalkers try to start gaslighting after they've ran their whole street theater and trauma-based mind control, and now the the desensitization methods. So what they're trying to do now, not just to myself, but to my children as well, is they are using desensitization methods to basically desensitize us to whatever it is that they're trying to enforce as trauma-based mind control and as like a customized punishment action. And so you'll see later on in the clip coming up on the second half of today's show exactly what I'm talking about and how this is all related. Additionally, too, it's just really interesting how like their complaints don't really get them anywhere. And so it's not working out in their favor. It's not. Because now, see, the management sees when I go out to do my laundry, they see how many people follow me there. See, now they're able to see it for themselves. Not only have I told them, not only do I have protest signs outside of my front door, not only have we relocated tons of times because of this already as it stands, but they're starting to see for themselves that, hey, why is it always like some really weird random black dudes or whatever color they are, ethnic groups, and they do come in groups. I'm seeing that the management here, not only are they catching wind of me writing to them and my posting protest signs outside and stuff like this, but they're also starting to now realize and see how every single time I go outside, I'm being harassed, I'm being stalked, and this is all organized ahead of time. They're seeing this for themselves now. And so if the community around me can start to wake up and see that this is actually what's been going on and that this is the truth, and because this is the truth, I'm being censored. This is a form of punishment and censorship. And so, but it's a great thing, because if the community around me can see it happening for themselves, and they know it because I've already done the homework part of it. I've already emailed them. I've already emailed the owners. I've already emailed the establishments. I've emailed City Hall, everybody, the police department. So now, it's going to be a lot harder for the police when they do get called out for stalking and harassment. It's going to be a lot harder for them to try to say, oh, she's just crazy. No, you can't just do this. Like, they're going to still try to do that, of course. That's the plan. That's the goal. That's what an entrapment operation entails. So I fully intend, like right now, I have to do this using a second backup technological device and operation, because they shut me down. They crashed my device today more than 10 times. Okay, so that's why I'm a little bit distressed or whatever, but I'm not gonna let it get the best of me. Whatever, I don't really care. But the point is, not only have I already emailed them tons of times, I have protest signs outside my front door, but now it's like the gang stalkers are ritualizing this to such a degree that they're actually telling on themselves. Because everybody knows, and can't nobody say that they didn't know. At this point, the cops acting like they don't know what's going on, it's not looking great for them. It's not. Because everybody outside can see what is going on with their own eyes. So forget what they heard, forget what they read, forget what the mainstream media might have said or what they might be hearing in the news, because they can see it for themselves. And it's reassuring for me to know that they know, not only because I've emailed them and because I have protest signs outside of my front door, but because they literally witnessed this going on for themselves with their own two eyes. So there's no way, and thank God the management doesn't stay very far at all. Because if anything ever did happen, God forbid, but these are sleeper cell terrorist groups, hate groups that sit around, use technologies to stalk, harass me, and blackmail me, and then they sit around and wait for an opportunity to attack me, whether it is me just going outside for a cigarette smoke, burning a sage bundle, it wouldn't matter, doing my laundry, leaving the parking lot, coming back from wherever it is, it does not matter, they are always there, okay? And now it's getting really hard for them all to try to easily passively dismiss it and use plausible deniability, because at this point, everybody's seeing what is going on. Every single person with their own eyes and for their own selves can take a look around and see, like, Jesus, every time she leaves the parking lot, yeah, somebody does follow her. And I can see these people that work here, they know exactly what's going on because they can see it for themselves now too. And it's reassuring, because once the community can collectively get on board with what's going on, then changes can start to be made. changes can start to be made. Because I mean, the police can surely gaslight me. Well, he's my ex now because we broke up, like I said, but he could get away with gaslighting me for sure. That's just one person. But how are you going to try to gaslight a whole community or a whole society or the whole entire world? Eventually, like just now, like I've been saying, people are going to start to wake up and see these things happening for themselves. And the one thing that never wavers is the truth. The one thing that I absolutely love about being a truth warrior is that I don't need to have a great memory to remember the trauma, because it's inciting trauma-based mind control. And it thinks that even at this point, it's still going to try to play me like if I don't know what's going on, and then turn around and gaslight me. Look, you're crazy as hell for coming out here for the past 3 to 4 years claiming Asian lives matter and Black lives matter, all this stuff, stop Asian hate. You're crazy as hell to think that now you're going to put boots on ground after all of this MK Ultra and this hypnotic mind fuck. These people aren't going to take it anymore, because you know what? They can see what is going on for their own selves. And they're going to act. They're going to do the right thing. They're going to act upon their intuition. They're going to do the right thing. Even in the ugliest and most traumatic situation, they're going to do the right thing. And I fully anticipate that they will continue to do the right thing. If they see corruption, they'll defend either themselves, like I do, or the community around them, like I do. And they will, and we are starting to stand up to this. This is not going to continue to happen. You're not going to violate my privacy. You're treating me like I'm the one doing these things to you. It's insane. Alright, and so I'm making some more protest signs, and I fully anticipate on starting a peaceful protest at City Hall, because I'm not getting the support from my community as far as like the police go. When I do report this, it's being treated as if I'm basically suffering from a schizophrenic delusion. That's how this is how these things get treated. And so that's why the gaslighting is so essential. But if you do your own research, you will see how and why the mental health facilities, not all of them, but most of them, they're actually already desensitized and already coached and already trained in how to assess victims of crimes against humanity. Like myself, I was exploited for profit. I still am exploited for profit every single day. Every single day. Every single thing I do, they copy me, they mock me, and then they profit off of that. So, and look, that's technically called domestic servitude. Tell me why it's not even on the court paper when I try to go file at the courthouse for a civil rights violation. I'm not a slave. That's how deep this corruption is. Okay? And so like I was saying, I'm making some protest signs. Now, I took a little bit of time off today in the middle of this show, and I'm really sorry if I got a little distracted and I came back a little bit with my mind somewhere else. It's because I was having technical difficulties this morning, and they're trying to do every single thing that they can to mess up my device and to glitch it and to crash it, so that way I won't be able to do a show. And so that way I'll just be on the receiving end of all their electronic harassments, which, by the way, crashing my device is a form of electronic harassment. I wish one of these little bitches would come and say that bullshit to my face. Come and call me a Nazi terrorist to my face. All of the shit that they do behind the veil is pussy shit. These are military officials. That's what I'm saying. Some, not all. But I'm saying some of these gang stalkers are legit hitmen. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Like Green Beret style type of shit. Okay? Some, not all. You guys, I'm sitting here doing this program today on a backup operation because they crashed my system again today. So, but they crashed it this morning more like 10 times. That is a form of electronic control. That is a form of electronic harassment. So I'm gonna do a few signs for protesting. I plan on getting a van this summer too. I know I went hard the other day going ham on how I was gonna sell some puppies at the Walmart parking lot and all this dumb stuff, but it's true. Because they have fucked my life up so much, I can't get a job. Fuck, I can't even go, and you're gonna see this because I have it coming up on the second half of today's show, but they've canceled me to the degree where I can't even use OnlyFans. And I'll show you exactly how the electronic harassment works when you try to get a job online, like OnlyFans, okay? And you'll see exactly what I'm talking about coming up on the second half of today's show. But yeah, they have downloaded a virus and malware and spyware and all this crapware onto my device to where it limits everything that I do. And not only does it limit everything that I do, but it dumbs down my research. It dumbs down pretty much everything that I do. Also, tries to make me look like a fucking idiot, and then it attacks me. So as the malware is downloaded, it'll socially engineer me, which is a electronic terrorist attack. So not only is it dumbing me down, fucking up my research, not only is it restricting everything that I do by crashing my fucking device, not only is it stalking me, using the device to stalk and facilitate more corruption, more electronic harassment. But in addition to all of that, when I do try to get on the phone to use it, and I know now, I didn't know this before for so long. I was like, what the hell? Why is there all of this weird stuff? Like, even just on Snapchat, there's so much weird stuff. And it's a virus. It's like infected with malware. And it's this weird stuff that you see when you go onto your device. It shouldn't be there. It's to cause cognitive distortion. It's to fuck your head up. Like hella. Now, I've gone onto Facebook. And I have seen babies getting beat within an inch of their lives. If I am being censored, then why the fuck are there videos on Facebook of babies getting beat? That's what I'm saying. They want me, the viewer, the one that they are targeting for electronic harassment. They want that target to get triggered and then to go out here and fuck somebody's ass up. That's what they want. That's kind of the point. But I'm just going to say it like this. Not today, devil. How about that? So anyways, like I was saying, I plan on getting a van for this summer. Not only to sell Joyce puppies, my little therapy dogs, as just like a little side hustle, not necessarily a job or anything like that, but something to have some type of income to fall back on. You know, I asked God to bless my crop, and I'm really hoping that he comes through with Joyce puppies. And I know that this is something that a lot of old timers used to do back in the day. I know religious and spiritually conscious people in my own biological family do this when the enemy is attacking them. So I decided to do it too. Why not? It worked for them, right? So I'm hoping it works for me, and all I can do at this point is pray. And I just know that because I figured out how to do this without relying on my initial technological operation, the one that I was using before as a voiceover, it's going to be a little bit staticky in the background for sure. It'll be a little bit different. It definitely threw me off. I'm not going to lie. I would be lying if I said it didn't. But I am still doing today's program. I am still doing today's show. I am still on here doing the damn thing, and I am not going to let them have their way. And I just know that the hackers in the community, in the sleeper cell group, the sleeper cell terrorist group that are set up hacking me, viewing me, remote listening, and remote electronically harassing me. I just know that they are pissed because they didn't think I would be able to outsmart them again, and I did. And I will continue to do that. I just think it's so fucking funny because every single time, and now I'm gonna get a brand new phone. See, that's the part that they don't see. And then, okay, so old boy in the video clip, right, that was gang stalking me, I believe it was over the weekend. I believe it was on Sunday morning, matter of fact. And now I had already caught so many videos before old boy even showed up. I had already caught so many videos of other gang stalkers setting up, pulling up, setting up, and then leaving, waiting for another gang stalker to come and start and get on their queue. Like, this is what they do. So I caught it all on video. So I got it on tape. It's on camera, on video footage. There's no denying what they're doing. They take turns stalking. They set up before we get there. Exactly like I said, except before I knew what they were doing and I was just speaking upon it. But now, after this weekend, I know what they're doing and I have the video footage to prove exactly how I was saying they were doing it. That's exactly how they're doing it. And I got the video footage to prove it, and I know that's the real reason why they were so ticked off. I know that's the real reason because the cops, every time I catch them stalking me too, they get pissed. They want to confiscate the device, but they can't. You see what I'm saying? It's interesting because they can hack it and they can exploit these people, but they can't legally confiscate the device, right? So that's why they need hackers to download malware onto the device so that not only do I get electronically harassed, but then my device and my system and my technological operation that I rely on to do a show, it'll crash at any given time. And these bitches never expected me to reboot and kick ass, to come out here and let them know, Sarah Connor style, that I'm not fucking with you Terminator bitch assholes. And I just watched that movie for the first time the other day. I'd never seen that movie. When I was a child, I was not allowed. I was very sheltered. Okay, I think that's why I'm so crazy now. Because when I was a child, my parents were pastors. My foster parents were pastors. They still are to this day. Okay? And I was never allowed to watch things like Terminator or Disney movies. Nothing like that. They were way too woke. They said if anybody's kids ever watch those types of movies, they're going to get cursed and possessed by a demon. Sounds crazy, but it's actually true. Alright, so... Alright, you guys. So, basically, more or less, the disinformation agents that are doing the online electronic harassment, the disinformation agents that work for the COINTELPRO that basically invert the truth into something that it's not. They are also out here working boots on ground as gang stalkers, physical gang stalkers that manifest in the 3D from the 5D. And so these recruits are being hired to basically do the same exact thing, but in the flesh, disinform people. So instead of telling the congregation the truth, or instead of telling the community of people the truth, that which I speak on my show and on my program every single day, they come out here and they say the exact opposite of the truth. They don't ever mention the fact that they exploited me for profit, that they continue to do this on a daily basis. None of that. No, it's just this person is crazy, this person is racist, this TI is this TI is that. And for many TIs, it's a very similar situation. But what it actually comes down to is an information war. I know the truth about the certain specific information. I know the truth about the history and the timeline. I know the truth about what they're doing and how they're doing it and how they're getting away with it. And I speak upon it every single day on my program, just about every single day. I try to do it daily. Some days I get busy, some days I get caught up, some days I get distracted. But I try to do this at least every day, if not every other day. And the times that I'm doing this reoccurrently, like if I'm trying to go hard, like if I'm trying to do this every single day, all of a sudden there will be like an attack on me that is basically exploited. Also, too, if I was somebody that was suffering from a schizophrenic delusion, then how in the fuck do I have so much evidence? There's over a mountain, an overwhelming mountain just piling up of evidence proving that this is a corruption scandal that has been taking place, not just in my life, but in the lives of many, 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 many average American civilians. I don't consider myself average. I feel like the guy that came out here to gaslight me, to gang stalk me with his daughter, and you'll see that with the video footage that I caught recently over the weekend. One of the things that he mentioned on his way out was, get your paper in. He had the nerve to tell me to mind my business and to get my paper in. Well, first of all, why in the fuck would somebody come with their kid just to circle the courtyard? You guys didn't bring a ball. You didn't have a dog. There was no point you had no business out here, okay? First of all, I am minding my business because you literally get paid to gang stalk and harass me. So that is my business, okay? You wouldn't even have the money that you have, the shoes, the car, none of that shit. I literally pay for the clothes on your child's back. With taxpayer money, that's how you get paid. That's how these operations are being funded illegally. With taxpayer money. The money that these gang stalkers make are putting food on their child's plate every single night. So don't tell me to mind my business. Don't tell me to fucking get my paper up. Bitch, have you seen the fucking whip that I drive? It's nicer than yours. Have you seen the fucking shoes that I wear? They're nicer than yours. I'm not on welfare. And I don't make any money. So how else can you get your paper up? How else do you suggest me to get my paper up and to also mind my own business? By the way, I am minding my own business. You wouldn't even be paid if it wasn't for me. You don't even know how you would fucking afford to feed your daughter if it wasn't for me. My son gets fed regardless. I'm not on food stamps and I don't have a job. So I'm gonna ask you again, how the fuck else do you recommend I get my paper up? I drive a nicer car than you. I have a nicer lifestyle than you do. I mean, from where I'm sitting, I got my papers so fucking far up. Not only are you jealous, but you're fucking profiting off of exploiting and torturing me. This don't make no type of sense. I told you I was gonna fuck your ass up, and I did. I had you so fucked up, you was crying like a little fucking baby to everybody around here that would listen to you. Dumb fuck. And which, by the way, they already looking at you like the terrorist that you are. Don't think that they looking at me that way. They looking at me like exactly the way that they should be looking at me. Every single thing that you exploited me on, you exploited me for this and you exploited me for that. They not looking at none of that. You see that. They see a regular, schmegular girl, woman now, who's minding her own business. These people the world comes to me. I don't chase. I attract. That's the difference between alpha and beta. I don't chase. I don't beg for none of these people's attention. They literally get paid to come and harass me because they're a part of a hate group. Thanks to the Obama administration. We're not allowed to exist. We don't have any freedom. You know, my data is being used to exploit me and to blackmail me. I don't even see how. But it just goes to show with the video footage how guilty they are of exploiting me and now also to my children. Because now they're projecting it in their street theater. And you can see that for yourself. Because they've exploited me and they're fucking trafficking pedophiles. And they've exploited my children as well. They need a place to put that. And they're trying to put that on Jaren. If you look close to the video footage, what they are mocking me and my daughter in this specific video footage, they're mocking me and my daughter in an attempt to desensitize Jaren so that he will fucking attack us because that's what they did. And I just think it's crazy as fuck how they're gonna attack American civilians, middle class America, and just American civilians all together. The ones in the upper class too. They just spent the last 3.5, 4 years terrorists attacking every single person in this country, and then they're gonna have the fucking nerve to come out here with a new song. Who is that helping? That is the craziest and most fucking schizophrenic, narcissistic fucking bullshit I've ever seen in my life. Bitch, if you don't see me coming out here with a brand new song, what the fuck are you doing coming out here with a brand new song? And a lot of these gang stalkers and a lot of these remote gang stalkers are trying to condition me into believing that this was some sort of an initiation. It's not. I don't want to be a part of your pedophile cult. Okay? Period. I'm rising above it now. And I don't want anything to do with any of these corrupt celebrities. You need to stop targeting me and get me off your target list. It's not going down like that. I guarantee you, whatever fantasistical bullshit that you try to imagine of, torturing me to death. Honey, I hold the key to your insane asylum. You're not driving me crazy. You're not stopping me. You might be slowing me down, but you're not stopping me. You don't have the power to stop me. You don't have the power to cancel me. You might be able to slow me down. You might be able to slow my truth down. You might be able to manipulate the fact that I'm a superhero and that you can't do anything about that. But the more you try to do that, the more you prove that, I don't even have to say what's blatantly obvious. And these things will never be able to do what I do because they have to operate in the shadows. That's why they're a part of the shadow government. That's why they're a part of the Illuminati. That's why they're in part of the deep state. They can't come out here and say what their real names are, like the way I do. Fuck no. Once again, today's whole entire program was derailed due to a technological glitch, a little technical difficulty that I was having today. Hopefully I will get a new phone or get a new device or just be able to comfortably figure out another way to do this for the next program. I'm gonna apologize one more time for the bullshit on today's program. I hope that it doesn't happen or affect future programs going forward. You guys, I'm gonna get out to have and enjoy the rest of my day. I will catch you guys again as soon as I can, and I just hope that if I don't get back to you, enjoy the rest of your week. Peace.